What is up, Shreddites? I didn't like that. Hey, what's up, Shreddites, and Happy New Year. It's 2022, year of the... inserted here, because I have no idea what year it is. And this year we're going to kick some ass. I say as I think about the past 2 years. So, a bit of a life update. This is a bit of a different background, and here's why. I don't live in California anymore. I know, calm down, it's gonna be fine, don't cry, don't cry. So for the uninitiated, I lived in California for about my entire 20 years of life, and now I've lived in Nashville for the past 3 weeks. Originally, I was supposed to move out here in November, but then my band ABK went on tour with Nita Strauss. That was an awesome, crazy, wild, stressful, scary, spooky experience that I will never forget. We started off in New Orleans, made our way all across the country, across Texas, Arizona, got to see some friends and family. That was awesome. And we ended it in SoCal, which was really special for me. Our last show we played with them was at the Whiskey A Go-Go, which was really heartwarming for me because that's where I grew up playing some of my first shows. Oh, look at Mini-Me at the Whiskey, what a nerd. So after the holidays and whatnot, my friend and I, we drove cross country, and now I live here in Nashville. And I haven't really had a chance to settle in here because, segueing into the main topic of the video, my band, ABK, is going back on tour with Nita this month. Actually, it's 5 days from when we're recording this. Jesus Christ. So while I'm down here getting my guitar rig all set up, I figured, hey, might as well show you guys my super sick, rad, tubular, wicked, twisted, wizard, tubular, I think I already said that, guitar touring rig. So we're going to start this off with actually the... Hold on. So let's start off with the best part, which is obviously the guitar. This is the fun part. This right here is the CHARVEL DESOLATION DST-1. So this thing is strung up with some Ernie Ball 10 to 52s. It's loaded with a pair of EMGs. It's got Floyd Rose locking trim. And my favorite part, which is actually this Iron Age kill switch. And the best part is when you plug it in, it lights up. It doesn't improve the sound at all. It's just really cool. I have a serious love-hate relationship with the Star because I absolutely love it. It's the coolest shape ever, in my opinion, the coolest shape ever. It plays great, it feels great, and you can just grab it by the horn on stage, make noises, and everyone loves it. The hate part is that it's almost impossible to find one of these with a Floyd that isn't like $2,000 plus. So in our set, we do a lot of songs that require me to go to drop D, which for all you locking bridge users know, that's a massive pain in the ass. So even though I carry a backup with me, I really wanted to make sure I could play the entire show with just this one guitar, which meant I had to do some hefty mods on it. So the most common thing people do is to install the EVH D-tuner, which works great, it's an awesome thing. But the only issue for me is that because of how wide it is, I actually can't bend it backwards and get all those cool Dimebag squeals. So to switch to drop D and still be able to bend backwards, I installed this, the TONEVISE pitch shift. So it does the exact same thing as the EVH D-tuner, except instead of pulling, you switch it. And since it doesn't exceed the length of the screw, you can still go backwards and get all those squeals. But uh-oh, stupid goblin brain didn't think ahead. If you switch it down to D, everything else goes out of tune. Oh no, we can't do it. Wrong. I actually installed this thing, which makes my life a hell of a lot easier. This is called the Rockinger Black Box, which kind of acts like a pseudo trem blocker. So when it's adjusted, it'll keep the bridge perfectly level, but there's also a spring in there, so I can still bend backwards. Yeah, it was a massive pain to get it all set up and whatnot, but once it is, it's kind of like a set it and forget it. It's never really given me issues. And lugging these things cross country wouldn't even be possible without the beauty, the majesty, the grace that is ENKI cases. I originally got this case back in January when I was having to actually fly with a guitar for the first time. And I've lugged this thing all over the country this year. And in that entire time, I've never had an issue with it. Alright, so now let's get to the pedal board. Or the amp. Is it both? And quick cut! So my entire amp setup actually fits on a pedal board powered by the beautiful, the courageous, the majestic KEMPER stage. Can you tell I like KEMPERs? I really like KEMPERs. So for the longest time I was using a KEMPER rack plugged into a separate MIDI controller going to front of house. And that was a pretty simple setup, but then while touring with it I realized I'm really lazy. When I was dealing with, quick setups, quick sound checks, quick teardowns on stage, I didn't want to deal with having to lug that much gear around. And now with this setup, I get all the tones I'd ever want, and it makes both my life and every sound engineer's life a hell of a lot easier. And for all my wah, whammy, volume, crazy wackiness effects, I use the Mission EP1 KP expression pedal. So with the Kemper stage and this, literally all I need is one cable going to my guitar, one cable going to the front of house, and that's my entire rig. The setup I usually have for most performances is clean channel, rhythm, lead, accessory, another accessory. So these three are pretty universal when it comes to the patches, but these two tend to change depending on whatever the song calls for. So for the song Pay Attention, the bridge calls for a more ambient, dirty kind of guitar tone that has a lot of, reverb, modulation, that kind of stuff. And like for one of our songs, Dodging a Bullet I Swear, the chorus has this very 80s kind of like chimey chorusy thing, and I don't want to press a lot of buttons, I just want to press one. So for the clean channel, I use a matchless head, which sounds great with humbuckers and the EMGs. It has a chorus, a bit of compression, maybe delayed reverb if I want, if I'm feeling spicy. So my rhythm channel is actually a Cameron modded Marshall JMP. It's actually my favorite amp ever. Like, it sounds great for just about anything. You want to play some classic 80s rock like Ozzy or Dio? Go ahead. You want to play some thrash? Works great too. And for my lead channel, me of course being a massive John Petrucci fanboy, is a modded Mesa Boogie Mark III. It's got the volume boost, it cuts through the mix like butter, it gets all the widdly widdlies out, and it sounds great. That's it. So our set has songs that range from like drop D, drop C, drop B, E flat standard. We're playing like in 6 different tunings each song. So with the beauty that is the Kemper, instead of having to change the guitar every song, I can just use its built-in transpose feature, which is a godsend. I have all my patches set up in the order of the set, so I can just page up and boom, next song ready to go. And I can already hear all the tone snobs commenting right now. Ew, use a real tube head, it sounds better. What do you mean you don't have a cab on stage? Why did my wife leave me? Yeah, sure, I would love to have a tube amp behind me and like 60 billion pedals in front of me so I could have every sound I could possibly want. But when you're on the road and need to set up in a rush, the name of the game is speed. All I want to do is press a button to change my tone and then get back to the show. And the honest to God truth is, most of the audience probably doesn't care. Like, as long as I put on a good show and my guitar doesn't sound like an ice pick being shoved into your ears, it's gonna be fine. So I could have this, or I could have a massive rig, but which one at the end of the day makes my life a lot easier? This. Alright, so now with the bigger stuff out of the way, we can get into the nitty gritty. So like I said earlier, I love Ernie Ball. If I didn't say it earlier, I love Ernie Ball. So all my guitars that are in standard are strung up with the skinny top heavy bottoms. I specifically love these because with the higher end you can still get a lot of bendability, a lot of shred, but on the lower end you get a lot more beef. I almost like having something to push against to make my picking like really heavy. Speaking of picking, for the tour I've been using these two main picks. The first one is our band picks. These are extra jumbo jazz picks made by In Tune Picks. And what makes them really cool is the fact that it has our band logo and check this out, it has my name on it too. I have my name on a pick, that's so cool! And the second pick I've been using are, hold on, give me a second. I can get it in one take, I promise. These are the Dunlop Max Grip Carbon Fiber Jazz Picks. Why was that so hard for me to do? I really love these because I love jazz picks, and an issue I realized on tour was that, okay, I'm on stage, I'm getting sweaty, mid-solo, oops, I dropped my solo, solo's ruined, I'm kicked out of the band, and now I'm in jail. So now with these picks, because of the grip, I don't really get any slippage, they stay really nice, and I just like them, they're really cool. And now, the most important part of my rig, the only non-guitar related thing in my rig that is an absolute necessity, Death Wish coffee. So in the past year or so, in the COVID years, I've been getting really into coffee, and my all-time favorite has been Death Wish coffee. And you can tell by the fact that I slap a sticker of it on every case I have. But lucky for me, the band we were touring with, Black Satellite, also loved Death Wish coffee. They had the instant coffee version, which is still pretty damn good, and they were really nice to let me have a couple every once in a while, so love you guys, miss you, see you on tour. So yeah, that's my entire touring rig. It's not a lot, it's not really flashy, but honestly, I like that. It's condensed, it's compact, it makes touring a hell of a lot easier. Alright, thanks for watching, make sure to like and subscribe, all that other YouTuber bullshit. If you want to see me and my band play live, dates and ticket links will be in the description below. So hope to see you on the road, more content coming soon. Honestly, just let me know, do you guys want tour vlogs? Because I want to do tour vlogs. If you guys want tour vlogs, we're getting tour vlogs. Stay charming, and if you'll excuse me, I got some coffee to make at 8 p.m.